The number of the day, 1 penny. That's right. Today's number is 1 penny. That's right. The Russian ruble is worth less than 1 penny today. But we'll get back into that in a little bit. In today's show, we're going to cover a couple of stories, right? Obviously, we're going to do our market rundown. We're going to cover more Russia, Ukraine, talk about Target a little bit, and new business startups. So I'm Kamari Ellis. I'm the host of the Financial Ruble Show. I'm a tax accountant, founder of the Philly tax team. I solve tax problems every day, all day. But on this show, on the Financial Ruble Show, we talk about all things money, taxes, stocks, business, economics. If it's about money, we talk about it here. And so, like I said, I got a couple of articles I want to go over today. Like I said, the first one, obviously, we always do our market rundown. So again, the market was a little crazy today. It's going to continue to be crazy as long as Russia is going crazy over in the Ukraine. It's going to continue to be crazy. But I want to pull this up real quick as we go over this, right? So the S&P 500 was down 1.55%. All the major stock indexes are in green, bleeding green. It's going to continue to be like that. The Dow, the S&P 500 closed at 4306, down 67 points. Again, down 1.55%. It's going to be crazy as long as Russia and Ukraine keep going like this. Oil bust through $100 a day, closed at $106. So as I keep telling you, higher oil, higher gas, it's all going to be correlated, right? Gold up 1947. All right. So all of those numbers, all of those things are up. Now, when you look, the S&P 500 is down almost 10% year to date. Oil is up over 40% year to date. Gold is up about 6% year to date. So all of those things, all of those commodities are going to continue to keep running. So it might be scooter time, y'all. Just to be honest with you, if this keeps going up, it might be scooter time. Time to stop driving as much, be conservative with your travel, because I don't think oil and gas prices are going to slow down any time soon. All right. So next thing you want to talk about, Russia, Ukraine. Russia and Ukraine is supposedly still talking, but Russia is still shooting rockets over into Ukraine. They're still shelling the capital city, and it doesn't look like it's getting any better. Now, oddly enough, the Ukraine has stopped men from leaving the country, men from 16 to 60. They're stopping them from leaving the country, and they are effectively drafting them into their armed forces. So it's been bad, right? But it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Now, we're seeing a lot of things start to happen as well. The New York Times reported, like I said, that men are being drafted. Also, in the Times Magazine, they reported that Russian currency, the ruble, is now worth less than a penny or 1 cent. And that's because all of the sanctions that are being placed upon them from the EU to countries like Norway, which I reported on yesterday, a lot of people are coming down heavy on Russia. You even see some Russian officials that are coming out with statements saying that they do not approve of what Russia's doing. So again, it's going to be very, very interesting. One of the things and the reason why this ruble has crashed is because the banking system in Russia has been cut off from the rest of the world. So I'm going to read this here. All right. The Russian ruble is now worth less than a penny. The ruble plunged to a record low of less than 1 penny after Russia was cut from the global bank payment system, SWIFT. All right. Now, I'm sure you're going to say, well, what is SWIFT? SWIFT is the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications. And I know somebody's going to say one world order. Some conspiracy theorist is going to come up. That's not what it is. This program, this system is basically a way for all the major banks around the world to communicate and coordinate movements of money. You need some kind of coordination system. So they cut them off of that. And so if they're cut off, they can't send payments in or out of the country. So all of that's being done. Now, here's another interesting thing, right? The Kremlin still has about 600 billion in reserves. But with all these sanctions still coming on hard and fast, that money is going to run out really quickly. They're going to deplete their reserves really quickly as they're mounting this offensive in Ukraine. So there's no money flowing in. Very little money flowing out except to feed troops and do mass movements and things like that. I don't know how long they're going to be able to keep this up. So this is going to play out. But we know most war engagements that come to physical things usually are tied to some type of resource or economic thing. So the economic pressure is definitely going to weigh in on all this. All right. Next thing, Target. Target is raising its minimum wage to $24. Well, it says as high as $24. So there's a caveat, there's a little switch there. So they're going to have a range of about $15 to $24. Now, I got this from The Hill. The Hill stated that U.S. retailer Target has announced that will adopt a minimum wage system that will pay company employees up to $24 an hour. Up to. That's the trick phrase there, right? You always got to find out what folks are trying to do and all of that. All right, so in a statement on Monday, the Minneapolis-based retailer said that the new minimum wage will range from $15 to $24, depending on the job and the local market. So again, they're moving forward in this fight on minimum wage. They're trying to do better. They have other companies that are in league to get these jobs. We are in the great resignation, as everybody calls it. Nobody wants to work, almost regardless of the money. So they're starting to put their money where their mouth is to get more people into the seats, to get them into the stores to work, because people are still having a hard time getting workers. So that's still a thing. All right. And so I saw this article and I found it really interesting from CNBC. There was a bunch of people that started jobs in 2021. I didn't realize that. I mean, I know there's a good amount of people who want to do their own thing, want to be their own boss, want to get the bag, but I didn't realize there was this many people. So give me 1 second. I was trying to pull that article up, and it's not working for me. The tech doesn't like me right now, and that's because I put in the wrong link. So it's all my fault. Give me 1 second. There we go. That'll work there. But not Target, 5.4 million. 5.4 million jobs were started in 2021. Again, a lot of people are tired of working for the man. They don't want to be bothered. And so they said, hey, I might as well start a job. Now, with that being said, we know most businesses go out of business within the first 3 to 5 years. But people have questions about this, right? So the article says, did you start your own business in 2021? Here's what you need to do before filing your taxes. And all you guys know, I handle taxes all day long. So I found this interesting because a lot of people really don't have a clue. Here's a couple of things. If you get a 1099, right? If you drive for Uber, if you drive for Lyft, DoorDash, Grubhub, any of those, you are a business owner. And so since you are a business owner, and more than likely you will get a 1099 NEC, 1099 NEC, you get to write off the deductions that any business owner would get, right? Whether it's mileage, whether it's mileage on the vehicle you're driving, whether it's entertainment is no longer valid. Meals, right? You can do meals, you can have office expenses if you have to print out paper and things like that, or get pens. If you get any refreshments for the people you're driving for, right? That also can be a tax write-off. And there's a lot of other things, right? For certain people, you even get to write off a portion of your home if done properly. But just going through this article, it said in 2021, amid the ongoing pandemic and the Great Resignation, Americans filed a record 5.4 million applications for new jobs, according to new U.S. Census data. Census data tracks everything. That means a lot of new business owners are facing their first filing season. While many people can file their personal returns on their own, tax experts strongly advise that business owners seek professional help. And I would agree with that. I talk to people a lot, especially when it comes to folks that used to do TurboTax. They make a lot of mistakes, especially when it comes to those who have rental property and or a business. You have to be really careful about the selections you put on Some of the things will trigger other things. It can get really tricky. So I want you all to be aware that if you know anybody that is starting their business or have started a business, tell them to be mindful and tell them to be careful when it comes time to file their taxes. Now, remember, tax season is going to end for S corporations and partnerships on March 15th. All right. They do not have the standard April 15th or actually April 18th deadline that everybody else has. They have to have their stuff in about 14 days. And there's a lot of changes around partnerships and S corps. So they need to stay on top of their stuff. If they do not have a tax pro, tell them to get one now. All right. So today is going to be a short one. All right. Today's affirmation is I am allowed to put myself first. All right. Y'all repeat after me. I am allowed to put myself first. Affirmations really, really are powerful. I like to bring them up because a lot of times we need a little bit of encouragement, even myself. So even when I'm reading some of these affirmations, I'm thinking about me, right? So I'm allowed to put myself first. So as I'm in the midst of tax season, things are hectic. It's okay for me to take a minute, go for a walk, get some water, take a breath, and just relax for a minute and smell the roses, so to speak. All right. So today we covered the market rundown, as always, Russia and Ukraine, the target situation, and new business startups. Listen, I am here. I'm testing this out, y'all. Here every day between 4 and 5. And tomorrow on Wednesday, we do Wealthy Wednesday. So if you have never been to Wealthy Wednesdays, go on and register. We do that at 8 p.m. every Wednesday. So I'll see you all next time. Until then, have a great night. Later, y'all.